I am live. It looks like Mr. Greg again, third week in a row, folks. I mean, he is who knows where. Mr. Greg tells me, "Oh, I might need 5 to 10 minutes. Oh, maybe never mind." So I guess it was the 5 to 10 minutes. But the show must go on. The show must go on with or without Greg. Okay, Greg is not the end all be all of this show, folks, and I know you'll be able to tell me that in the comments when you praise me. Praise me as the Lord of this show, the new Lord, taking it from Greg, making it my own. Now, see, the thing we have today, things I should say, but they're called people now. They're women. Okay. Anyway, that's part of it. But first thing, Mr. Democrat, Harry Sisson. Sisson? He has a roster? I wasn't familiar with your game, Mr. Liberal. Okay. But apparently he had a roster of some 11 women. We're going to get into that. We're going to see what was up with my boy. Why was he so good at this? I mean, I don't know. He has a lot of followers on TikTok. I mean, I guess there's going to be 11 women out there that want you still. And, obviously when you're fighting for the rights of women to do a certain thing with their offspring, it might appeal to those women that vehemently fight for that. But anyway, as well, just overall in this craziness that we call women, we have Sabrina Carpenter getting Eiffel Towered on stage. Okay. That's huge news, guys. But we have, let's see, the advertising of sacredness, purity for clout. We're going to get into that. We're going to see a woman that does that. We're going to see, the kind of women, the kind of men women are into, why they don't like certain kinds of men, and by that I mean the ones that don't get the women, like short men and stuff, and bald. They always talk about this. We're going to see how much they really hate them. We got some stuff going on, some other kind of stuff. We got Greg Barnes in the studio with us now. Took you long enough. Okay, well, he's not even talking yet. But let's see. So we got we can just really overall arrangement of women too. We're gonna take a look at that. That's how he enters, I guess.
Huh?
At least it wasn't hard R.
Right? I didn't know you were already live.
Fortunate. Well, I mean, it says live in the top left corner right there.
Photo.
What are you up to, man? How you doing?
Pretty good. I had to grab some food because I got, that feeling when you're just chilling and all of a sudden you get hit with that like African starving syndrome.
Hunger pangs?
Yeah. That shit's crazy.
It's unfortunate.
So I had to remedy that.
Bro's not drinking enough orange juice.
What are you talking about?
That's what I'm saying. That's why you're getting them hunger pangs, man.
What does orange juice have to do with that?
I mean, just having that, sugar intake so that you continue the supply of blood sugar. It doesn't drop too low.
Perhaps.
You know what they don't have in Africa? Orange juice. You know what they have in Africa? Stomach pain. I mean, I think it adds up, folks.
That's not incorrect.
Right? Okay, so I mean, there's logic to it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
How is your? Actually, first of all, let me ask about this name. What is Greg Barnes?
Hold on. I found the image.
Mm-hmm. I'm holding, but it's taking forever. You're taking a century over there.
Dude, relax, man. It's gonna happen.
You gotta slow your roll. You coffee niggas too crazy. I like crazy, but I'm a matcha nigga now. It's cooler. It's smoother. It's matcha nigga.
I like it.
Body, I need that. Beep.
God damn it! I fucked this up. All right, let's see if this works.
Did you not hear that?
I did. I don't understand what the reference is.
Okay. Kendrick was on Playboy Cardi's album, and it just sounds ridiculous.
Cardi, my old evil twin.
Yeah, Cardi, my evil twin. Bro, he's like, Cardi, we need that Back to the Future. We need that Alien, Cardi. We need that beep. Just like that, Cardi,
What?
That was the intro to Cardi's song that Kendrick gave him. He's like, we need that Back to the Future Cardi. We need that Alien Cardi. We need that
Cardi, I need that.
beep, 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 beep. Just like that Cardi, you know.
God damn.
Oh, just like that Cardi, you know. Yeah, he goes like the like, you know that sound he does?
Like the well, you wouldn't get what that is, but yes, I do.
Yeah. So what have you been up to, Mr. Greg? Past week. How's your week been?
Hectic. A great migration is taking place. Yes.
Anything you care to share?
Nope.
Okay.
Let's see.
Anything
I did have a
relevant
cool
from the
story.
past week that you want to share?
Yeah.
Okay.
I went to Burger King the other day, and they were taking fucking forever to get my order. Well, not even my order. So I was in the drive-thru, and I was sitting there for like 10 minutes, and I was like, all right, well, fuck this. I'm just going to go inside, because I kept saying, yeah, I'll be with you just a minute for 10 minutes, which was a lie, because that was not just a minute. But it was several minutes, actually. But anyway, I park and I go inside, and there's not even that many people in there, but they're getting like swamped with orders, apparently. I don't know where, because there's only like 2 or 3 people in the actual drive-through line, but they were behind me, and that was after I got out of that line. But anyway, I go up to the counter waiting for this guy to take my order. He's like, oh, don't worry, I'll be with you right in a second. I'm like, oh shit, I'm just inside of the same thing now. I didn't upgrade anything. But there's this guy there, and at first I thought he was homeless, but I think he's just really poor. But anyway, he was like chit-chatting with me, and he's like, yeah, man, you know, I just ordered some food. And he's like, bro, I'm like super wasted. Can you tell him? Like, oh, well, as a matter of fact, I could not.
I wasn't familiar with your game.
I was not aware that you were one of the nectar. But he's like, yeah, man. He starts telling me his life story for a bit. And he said, yeah, man, I just got a ton of beer, one in the car. I'm like, oh, okay.
So he wasn't off the platinum vodka.
No, he was not. He was a white guy.
Oh.
Yeah.
But see, but the black man had a better choice with the platinum vodka over beer.
I mean, yeah, but you get what you can afford, I guess. But anyway, so he's telling me this. He's like, yeah, man, my buddy just said he has cancer everywhere. And I'm like, what do you mean everywhere? Like, he's got full body cancer? And he's like, yeah, man. And I'm like, oh, well, shit. Sorry to hear that, my guy. I'm like, yeah, man. So I'm just living it up right now, you know, because that's it. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Then he starts telling me about these pizzas that he got. He's like, yeah, man, I went to Domino's. I got 4 pizzas. Like, oh, okay. How'd you get the 4 pizzas? Like, yeah, I ordered 2 pizzas, but they screwed it up. So they just gave me 2 extra pizzas, man. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's pretty dope. Like, they messed up the order. Yeah, man, they put bacon on that and stuff. I just wanted pepperoni and onions, but they gave me the other ones because, like, what are they going to do, man? Throw it out, man? And I'm like, yeah, I mean, I guess you're right. I might as well give it to somebody. Yeah. And then some like Latin woman who's like probably in her 40s, like face is mid, but bro, it's she walks in, and I notice this, and I take note, and the guy's like, yo, man, you see what I see? Like, he actually went out of his way to go to the trash can, like pass by her to get to the trash can to throw something out, just to see what was going on, so to speak. And he's like, yo, man, you see what I see? He starts smiling, and I'm like, nah, man, I'm not trying to start any problems here. So I'm just kind of like half smirking, half not, just trying to get this over with. And eventually he gets his food, and he's like, all right, thanks, man. Don't work too hard, as the guy's like fucking struggling in the back, literally sweating, trying to get orders, which is really funny because I'm sure he meant it in like good intention, but it just came off as like super sarcastic. And I'm like, oh, okay, catch you later, bro. It's like, oh yeah, thanks, man. See you later. And then I finally get my food, and then I leave. But it was quite the interesting experience talking. We have
a comment from Mr. Humvee 94. Question for the med: if you got a free pizza and it had bacon on it, would you take it?
That's a good question.
I mean, what am I going to do? Throw it out? I'll give it to somebody.
Okay. Have you never had pepperoni pizza?
I haven't actually.
What the fuck?
I actually haven't. Didn't grow up like that, man.
That's very haram.
I didn't like pizza as a kid.
I mean, you're right.
I tried cheese pizza. First time I tried it, I was like, and let me clarify. This is pizza from a box, okay?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
When I say that, I mean like actual, like, you know, a restaurant gives it to you, actual pizza, okay? Don't make some shit out of that. I know that's gonna be a fucking clip.
You should have just said like regular pizza, just regular.
Yeah,
that way you don't get caught up in that.
Regular pizza. Anyway, so I mean, I tried it before and I was like, oh yeah, this isn't so bad. And I don't remember where I tried it from, if it was like Domino's or some other place. I don't remember. Pizza Hut, maybe something like that, right? I try it. I'm like, it's not bad. So then I remember in elementary, like my mom, she's like, okay, well, you know, the school was saying we have pizza Friday, so you can pre-order the pizza for Friday, you know, basically. And then my mom ends up paying for it, but then they order from like fucking, well, I don't know if this is a local place or not. Let me look it up. I don't think it is. Well, let's just see.
That's what I'm thinking it is. It probably isn't.
What are you thinking of? Which place are you thinking of? Did you put it in the chat? Hold on. Oh, you didn't put it in the chat. See, I don't want to say it because what if it's not national?
Go to easy.com.
Let me put it in the private chat and you tell me if you know if that's like national or not.
I don't think that's local at all.
You don't think that's local?
No. It might be.
You sure?
I think at best it's like state.
I think it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. It is. I mean, at most it is. But anyway, Hungry Howie's, because there's, you know, a lot throughout the state we're in anyway. But let's see. So, I mean, Mr. Humvee was saying I can message him and he would tell me, but, you know, it's all over the state anyway. Who cares? But anyway, here's the point. My mom pre-orders the pizza. It turns out it's Hungry Howie's. I try it. I'm like, this tastes like shit. I hate this. This is disgusting. This is not what I tried before. I hate this. And so since she already pre-ordered it, like pretty much my orders are in. I don't know if she ended up getting a refund or what, but I did not eat the pizza anymore. I'm like, this is disgusting. I can't eat this. This is trash.
Yeah.
This is garbage. And it made me hate pizza. Before I tried the pizza, I liked it. Then I tried that. I'm like, now I hate pizza. I can't even smell the sauce and feel okay. I can't even eat smelling that pizza sauce, man. That's how disgusting it is. See, that traumatized me from pizza because even smelling the pizzas was like making me not hungry anymore. Like even for my own food, that wasn't the pizza. It was disgusting me. It was just the smell.
Is it really that bad?
Dude, I brought like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches that I couldn't even eat on Fridays because I was like, oh, that pizza smell's getting to me.
That's a very weird thing that happened to somebody.
Dude, it was just so disgusting that I couldn't eat pizza for ages. And I think it was years before I even tried marinara sauce. I was at Applebee's and I tried the mozzarella sticks, try some of the marinara sauce. I'm like, it's not that bad. It's pretty good. And then I tried some pasta sauce in my beef and I'm like, okay, this isn't so bad. I used to, again, hate it, but then I was like, okay, well, actually, I kind of like it now. And I actually like, you know, you've seen me eat the tapioca starch pizzas that from Against the Grain. Yeah, that's the brand. I like those. That tastes good. Tastes good to me. Put a little honey on it. But yeah, I will never touch a Hungry Howie's pizza in my life. And I, you know, just like I'll never go back to Chili's.
Yeah, that's actually a really hot topic one. Or not hot topic, hot take. People love Chili's for some reason.
Dude, there's like a new Chili's that opened somewhere in my, like, you know, not near me, but it's like, you know, on the way to somewhere else. And I'm like, dude, like, why are there new Chili's opening? This is terrible. Why is that the default hangout spot for people? It's like, let's go to Chili's, man. Let's go get a drink at Chili's. Let's go get some apps.
If I ever get more than buzz at a place that's not a club, you should probably kill me.
Well, what about a pub?
Yeah, that counts.
Yeah.
Bar or like club.
Yeah. But not like a restaurant.
It's just lowbrow. It just feels bad. Like, how could you feel proud of yourself doing that? You know, maybe some people, that's where they want to go. But me personally, I'm not getting drunk at a Chili's.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I've only, I mean, like, well, I guess, you know, pubs, yeah, don't really count. I was gonna say I went to a different pub recently, and that's still just a not even really a restaurant.
Don't they usually have food if they're a pub?
They have food, but it's not really like, do you really call it a restaurant? Bar and grill?
I guess, yeah.
I don't know.
Enough.
I guess, you know, I don't know. Falls under the category, but that's not its primary purpose.
Either way.
Let's see. My boy says Applebee's is ass. It is. You know what? Before Greg tells the story, I just need to say, I remember I went one time as a kid and I ate like some sort of honey wings or something like, what was it? Honey mustard, honey barbecue, something like, I think it was probably honey barbecue. Dude, like I had diarrhea right after that. And not only that, there was, okay, so this is going to be pretty gross. It's not about me, it's about somebody else, but it is still gross. I remember this was around the time I was like elementary anyway, middle school maybe when I tried it. But, and also the time before that, I had a grilled cheese in there. It was so salty. I don't know how they make it that salty. But here's the thing. There was this girl in my elementary that would like defecate on herself and like urinate on herself, dude. It was crazy. And she was not even young. She wasn't like 3 or 4. Like this, because there was like a kindergarten and pre-K attached to the elementary. No, she was an elementary student. This was like, you know, a girl in her, I don't know, 7, 8, 9, 10, somewhere around there. Just doing that on herself, man. It smelled nasty. She smelled gross. And that diarrhea I had from the Applebee's wings smelled exactly like what she had, like constantly.
That's quite the story.
So, I mean, I don't know. Is she going to Applebee's every night and then getting diarrhea from it? And that's why it smells, you know, I don't know. It smelled exactly like that. I was like, yo, that's crazy.
I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility.
Yeah, dude. I honestly, it's very much turned me off from Applebee's in the first place. That wing experience, especially. But what were you going to say, Mr. Greg?
I saw a video a while back on why Applebee's, or not Applebee's, Chili's in particular, is gaining popularity and growing in terms of like revenue and all that. I didn't like the tonality of how I said that. I'm just going to mention that right there. Anyway, I watched a video on it, and they were talking about how it's like happening at the same time as like fast food prices going to the moon and back, which, by the way, if you have to pay $8 for a double quarter pounder, there's a problem. There's definitely a problem. Anyway, so that's happening, but Chili's is kind of like taking the competition from that area because they're like a sit-down restaurant, so it's a bit, you don't feel like you're gonna get shanked by a homeless guy like in McDonald's. But
I don't get that at McDonald's that I go to. You must be going to a bad McDonald's.
It was the one I went to in Fort Lauderdale. It was very sketch. They had a security guard. That's how you know it's bad.
I've never seen a security guard in McDonald's.
I haven't either. That was new. I'm new,
bro. I'm new to this.
But anyway, they got the like family kind of like relaxed, chill environment with the food being slightly higher quality without it being much more expensive at the same time. So that kind of combination makes it way more attractive to, well, I mean, anybody that's suffering from the economy right now, which is like everybody.
You feel like you're getting more of your money's worth.
Yeah, it feels like better to spend your money there than McDonald's, which, I mean,
the prices are becoming comparable.
Yeah, they really are. It's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah. Like fast food is just not that much cheaper.
It's like barely cheaper at this point.
A few bucks at most.
But the other thing I was going to say is like, it's hitting like every demographic mark. You can go there and have a beer if you want to. You can go there and get some like food after work or whatever with your friends if you want to. You can take your kids and your wife there if you want to. It's like a nice sit down area. So it kind of hits everything. But it's just overrated as fuck.
I mean,
overrated as fuck.
Overrated as fuck. Yeah. Okay. So let's see. I want to show you this video. We're just gonna see some insane British physiognomy right now. That's all we're gonna do before we get into our topics. Because I mean, you have to see this.
Is it something I shouldn't be eating while looking at?
What the hell? I mean, it depends on how disturbed you are by British people.
Fairly.
Okay, well then you're probably gonna be disturbed, man.
What the
You're gonna have to
fuck?
watch this, man.
For dinner tonight, we've got sausage and mash. But I've done a bit of a healthier alternative for me. And done chicken sausages. Shane's got normal.
I like chicken sausages.
There's more out there if you want to know.
Oh, but we always have an extra sausage.
There's loads of sausages out there.
I can always stand mash.
Oh, and we got broccoli and creamy cabbage as
Dude, she looks like a cartoon character. Like, this is wild.
Fucking egghead to a new level.
It's just dude, it's like, oh my god.
Shit.
Could you imagine this is your life?
No, I
Her
literally
eyebrows
can't even
also painted
imagine.
on. Like, those don't look like. Hello.
Yeah.
You just stopped talking.
Oh yeah, because you're like talking. Wait, is your thing a bottle of ranch?
No, it's hold on. It's cream.
Oh, that's based.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I couldn't even imagine seeing this person in general, much less my wife.
Well, what would you do if you woke up married to this woman?
I'd probably go insane because I think I'm in some kind of like parallel universe or something.
creamy cabbage as well.
Creamy cabbage. Oh, I didn't cut that.
I didn't think you'd like the creamy cabbage. Do you want?
Yeah, who the hell wants creamy cabbage, dude? Like, you guys eat foul shit. Like, this is, how can you even eat this stuff? You have to look like that
Whoever
to eat this
thought-
stuff.
Who has ever thought of the concept of creamy cabbage? Who started that? Because whoever they are, they ought be crucified.
Do you think they're talking about like coleslaw?
I don't. I would have thought coleslaw is like an American only thing, maybe German, but I wouldn't think they'd have that over there.
But what else could creamy cabbage mean?
I was literally thinking of like creamy cabbage, like Alfredo cabbage or some shit.
Oh, it's just foul.
Some? No?
It's not creamy though. Oh yeah, I see a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh goodness. Mum, do you like dipping your mushroom ketchup?
Yeah.
Okay, Jason, yeah.
Dude, this is like some fucking what is it? Wallace and Gromit type animation? Dude, it's like, this can't be real. I'm actually like surprised that she looks like this, dude, still.
Is she native British? Or is she like mixed with something?
I don't know.
I've never tried a chicken sausage before.
You've never had chicken sausage?
No. No idea what
That
I'm
also sounds
expecting.
foul.
So those ones, what are those ones called? I forget what they're called, but I've had like chicken chipolatas. I've had a lot.
I want to see what the husband looks like, man.
Have you
I
ever
don't know
seen
if
that
it's
one
shown in this
episode
video.
of Smiling Friends where they're trying to keep that guy from sewer sliding himself the entire episode?
Mhm.
I imagine he looks like that.
Okay, let's see. So Humby says, I've been to a Wawa with a security guard, had to buy a cup at the register because the homeless keep stealing drinks. That's fair.
Bruh.
I'm gonna go. That is my dinner tonight.
Okay, well, RJ Smith X is her TikTok, so I'll leave that up to whoever wants to research that.
You don't want to do it now?
I don't know if I want to pull up TikTok on here. Don't you have to log in to look at stuff? Or is that not
I don't know. I've
TikTok?
never done it on
I'm
my.
Yeah, on
I
the
know
web.
Instagram you do to an extent. I don't know about TikTok.
Her name is Becky. Her name is Becky.
Becky.
Becky. Okay.
Hold on. I gotta get a Coke real quick.
It looks
I'll be
like I
right
might not have to. It looks like I might not have to log in. Damn, dude. Her face is crazy. Hold on. Let me pull this up. I thought I would have to log in, but thankfully you guys can just see for yourselves. Okay. Also, no. Okay. Dude, dang, dude.
Way.
Oh, can I mute this? Okay, there we go. She's even pointing out what's wrong with her head. Her face is crazy. Never seen a head shape like it. Is she going to explain it? It's worse when her hair is up. Is she going to explain it though? She's so ugly. Okay, but can we show like the cause or something? There's no cause. She looks like a child's drawing is valid.
Bro.
She's not even going to show the cause of it or explain it in the comments.
The top left corner is so unhinged. What the fuck?
Oh. Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's an oddity, but Jesus, bro.
Let's see, but she's not explaining though. Why wouldn't she tell us why her head's shaped like that? Don't people usually do that to make people feel bad for them? Like this, I have this disability or something.
Yes.
Yeah. So
There
why
was
wouldn't
one
she do that?
at the top where she looked kind of normal. But
Damn, dude, this is her without makeup.
no, she still got a little makeup there, it looks like.
She's saying get ready with me. Yeah, she probably has a foundation or some shit. But man, it's like now she looks like a Ratatouille character.
See that first post? She looked all right, like normal.
Here? Look at you see how it flips, dude?
Well, now she looks, but
yeah, dude. Like it was the thumbnail that kind of looked normal, but is she gonna turn on that? You see? Nah, man.
nah.
Is this the emoji movie? Is the first comment? Watermelon. Somebody just says watermelon. The most UK looking build. Damn. Dude, these comments don't care. They're becoming like Instagram. Dude, they're becoming like Instagram.
Bro, if it becomes like Instagram, I might be actually active on there.
Okay.
By the way, you need to check the group chat.
Which one?
What do you mean, which one? The one with you, me, and the Turk.
What do I need to see?
Oh, just everything. There's been some bangers in there.
Yeah, I guess tonight. After the stream. Let's see. So
I also well, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Because I was just gonna get on to the next thing.
I asked you a question in there because me and the Turk had like a dispute on this, and then you just completely ignored it. I even pinged you and just started sending more memes.
So what is it? Something you could talk about on stream?
If I can find the reel, which
was it like? What was it related to?
So I could describe it.
Okay.
It was some girl, and who I assumed to be her boyfriend or husband or whatever. And he was the one filming, so you didn't see him on the camera. But she was like holding like one of those like Chinese lantern things, you know, where they're like they go up in the sky and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she had one of those, and the whole video was her like, "Oh, the fire's getting really hot. Oh, I don't know what to do." And he's like, "Okay, so let it go." "I don't know if I want to let it go." "Okay, so put it out." And it goes like this for like 2 minutes, and eventually she like. It gets to a point where he just takes it and starts stomping on it because she couldn't make up her mind about what to do. Yeah, that's the one. How did you find that?
There's no name or anything. I just looked up like my handle in our DM search, and it showed up as you pinging me.
I didn't even know you could do that.
Yeah, you can look up things in messages. So he's telling her to let it go, and she's like, she just still has it in her hand. So what was the question here based on this? Like, was he right for stomping it, or?
We agreed that it was mildly annoying. Well, I agreed it was mildly annoying. He said that was infuriating. And I was like, yeah, but it's kind of wholesome in a way. And he's like, no, bro, I could never do that. So I was asking you, to break the dispute there, is it wholesome or is it just infuriating?
I mean, she's a retard, but I don't know. I feel like it has to be. You think that's fake or what? I don't know if that's real, but it's believable.
It is very believable.
I don't know, man, because that video where the chick like starts the fire in the kitchen when she's like in her underwear cooking?
No.
And the guy has to put it out?
No.
It was like some chick in her underwear. She was cooking in the kitchen and she starts a fire on a pan and she's like, oh my God, what do I do? And she's trying to put it out, but she's doing like all the wrong things to stop a fire.
Putting water in it and shit.
Yeah, and fucking oil, dude. But like, I think the thing is like, it gets to a point where if she's that incapable, it's going to cause you a problem when you're not home. That's going to cause you a serious, more than a headache, honestly, but eventually, I think. So I don't know. I feel like she has to have some sort of capability as far as not just doing that kind of shit, but I don't know. I mean, is it infuriating? She's a woman. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm not like, I don't know if I'd be, unless it caused like a serious amount of damage. If I stopped it in time, I probably wouldn't be like so pissed off.
Well, now you're talking about that's a different thing entirely. That was just an idiot woman with the cooking. But this, it seems almost like intentional. Like she's fishing for attention. That's what I got out of it.
Yeah. Well, then, I mean, that's worse.
Damn. You niggas are hard as shit. No diddy.
Whoa. Pause. Yo, what am I, Brian Johnson taking a Cialis to say that his nighttime erections are strong? Brian Johnson's getting exposed, like his story by this guy, What I've Learned, the one that does
I saw the few posts he sent. They're pretty good.
Dude, I mean, honestly, like, and we're getting off topic of what we were going to talk about today, but I think this is really actually a good topic to talk about because basically Brian Johnson's like, starting this whole thing where he's like, oh yeah, we're a religion and my competitor's Jesus and like, I will never die. Like people are asking him, do you think he'll die? He's like, no, but he's literally just following consensus. And the guy's pointing out, it's like, hey, well, when Brian Johnson says he like cured his deficiencies, he's just supplementing stuff. It's not like he's eating the right things to like make sure that, he's actually getting it. And then on top of that, like he's saying like, oh, my biomarkers are actually the best ever recorded, but he's posting Excel spreadsheets, right? So like the problem is, he can pull these things, like cherry pick these numbers from any point in his lab work and be like, oh, this thing's up, but I have a good like, stat here. Okay, let me put it here. Oh, I have, like my cholesterol is like actually too low, like dangerously speaking, but my iron's good. Let me put that here. It's like, let me put that in my numbers. So how do you know that these are actually like a consistently good lab work? Like, how do we know his cortisol's down? Like, when everything else is in order, right? Like, how do we know this is all the case simultaneously if he's not putting out a lab work? And he's even done stuff like Photoshop, like a speed of aging thing that he was showing where he put it below like the 0.6, which is like the baseline one or like the bottom ones, I guess, to just illustrate that he's like below that, but he pretty much like Photoshops the actual picture that he took of that. So in a lot of ways, Brian Johnson is really trying to sell people on something as maybe looking more than it is. Even so, he did like I don't know if you saw this one that I put, but like he basically started selling like meals, and it's the same as this other service that sells meals. So like there's a service online that sells meals to people that you can buy, and he sells these pre-made meals, and he's like, every calorie has to fight for its life to be on my diet. Like, and then he's like, and these meals are actually the longevity extending, like, the ones that have fought for their lives calorically, but it's all the same as something that already existed, like these pre-made meals. So are you saying that like literally they just had the perfect meals already ready, or are you trying to just sell people this stuff under the impression that that's the case?
I'm sure he just happened to find it after he did all of his research, and he's just like, oh my God, what I need is right here. It just happens to be right here, the thing that I'm partnered with.
Yeah, I mean, it's just an insane amount of cope, like on his end too, because like he's like, oh man, it's like I'm cold plunging. I've talked about this. He's like, it's like I'm cold plunging 24/7 because my body temperature is 94.8 or 94 point whatever. Dude, that's incredibly low. You're sick. Like, I don't know, man. You're hypometabolic. Like your metabolism's not working. No wonder they are starving you on your calories. Like they have them in a really big caloric deficit.
That nigga looks like a lizard.
And he looks like a lizard. He looks like he doesn't go outside. Just to like, he talks about like, oh, everything I do isn't to just like, basically he's saying he's not actually trying to force a looks max, like no, not do anything cosmetic. But he literally had a video where he was trying to de-age his face by like, part of it was like inserting fat in certain parts to make him look younger. So that doesn't even have to do with the actual health of what his body's producing. It's literally just doing something cosmetic. And then the thing is, like, he pointed out, like, oh, you know, nighttime erections are like a thing that, like, this is something you can't fake, and this is something that, you know, you have to, like, actually have to show as your benchmark of health. But what he does is he supplements Cialis, and he does other things like shock therapy and stuff, and like I forgot what the other one was, but he literally does stuff to increase that. So he's acting like, oh, well, I'm matching my 18-year-old son and he measured his own son's Johnson, you know, in his sleep too. He did some sort of injection in his own, though, is what I was trying to think of. I forgot what it was, but he injected it as well. So he's comparing it to his sons, and then he's saying, oh, I have these really good, like, nighttime, like, erection quality, but he's literally just, like, supplementing and doing these things to, like, force it to be the case, as opposed to actually getting that naturally.
Does he have video evidence of him getting a nighttime erection?
No, I think that's just telling people, and after they measured it in the lab. I'm sure somebody had to hook something up to him.
But when you mentioned the injecting fat thing, it reminded me of the Starlight memes from fucking, what was that show called again? The Boys, where she removed her buccal fat, and they do like the like sketch thing where it's like you drawing shit, but then they're like, you know what I'm talking about, where it's like notebook paper and they draw the thing, and it just shows her fucking doing like the mogging face.
Oh,
that's
So did they explain that in the show or something, or like, you know, did it just happen to be that she just reappeared like that?
I don't watch that show because it's degenerate. But
see, like Mac, for example, on It's Always Sunny, they never explained why he looked different, you know, after he got that eye surgery to, like, you know, get rid of the negative canthal tilt, but he has like those goggle, like, googly eyes now. But they never.
I never
really
noticed it. Like, you told me about it, and I was looking for it, but I couldn't really notice it.
Oh, you can tell if you look at them these days. You know,
if I see him side by side, maybe I'd notice it.
Yeah, it was his whole point. I mean, first of all, I think he looked better before, like, you know, but he just looks kind of weird now. It wasn't a good surgery, but if I'm just being brutally honest here, I mean, I just need to be objective about it. But
speaking of brutally. Actually, yeah. Let me finish your thought. That was really rude of me.
Well, I was just gonna thank you. I was just gonna say, he was saying the whole point of the show, or at least part of it, was like an idea was that instead of looking better over time because these celebrities get all these surgeries, that they actually want. He's like, maybe we should look worse over time. That's why he gained that weight in the first place. You know, just started getting fat all of a sudden. But you know, then he goes and does cosmetic surgeries, and he like wants to actually be just like the celebrities he was making fun of before.
You think that's genuine, or you think like, you know what I mean?
What do you mean?
Okay, I'm just gonna brush over that. Anyway, speaking of brutally,
I was trying to figure that out.
Yeah, if you can't figure it out, don't worry about it. I'll tell you later. Speaking of brutally, you asked me about my username. Who you see before you in my profile picture is Mr. Chris Barnes. Of Cannibal Corpse. That's it.
I see.
Yes.
Okay. So, oh my God, that is bright. Okay. Before we get into women, we need to get into the man who has bagged them, Mr. Feminist.
Pause.
What?
I'm not going into a man. What the fuck's wrong with you?
Okay. I see what you're saying. Anyway, we need to go into the story about a man who was bagged many at a time. A feminist man bagging a roster of women.
This is about the TikTok
This needs
guy?
to be investigated. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
I'm
So let's
vaguely
pull up a
aware
woman
of this.
talking about this. Yeah. Let's pull up a woman talking about this. I mean, she made a thread.
Because you're
Okay.
well
So,
known for being able to pay
let's
attention
see.
to a woman talk.
Oh, for sure. Let's see. So Harry Sisson convinced 11 different women that he had no roster and respected them for more than their bodies, while persuading them to send explicit photos of themselves through Snapchat, including one from a domestic abuse survivor. When the women discovered each other one by one, he called them all insane, based and attempted to coerce one of them into telling the public that the photos were fake. Request to the reader, set political differences to the side. I believe both sides of the aisle can agree that this is unacceptable behavior from a man-child with collectively over 2 million followers. And I mean, we're just going to pull up a couple of the instances of tweets that I thought were, game here. I mean, or just funny. There were a couple of them. Let me just grab them. Okay. So there's this one. This guy, Feral Pog Hunter, says, "How can you hate this man?" And so there's like some chick, like, I guess just showing herself off to him, but she's just showing like she's in pants, but I guess she's just showing from the back. And then Harry's message was, "The verdict is you look sexy as fuck. Court adjourned." It's so stupid. It's so stupid, but I guess they like this.
That sounds like something one of the guys in one of the servers would say.
Are you talking who I think you're talking about?
No, not that guy. I don't think you've ever been in the same VC as him before, because he's always on at like 3 a.m.
So this is a different one that we got here. Another one I wanted to point out. He says, "I'd fuck you raw after wine tasting, but that's just me!" ! But that's just me.
That's just me.
This is crazy. Why would you after wine tasting, bruh? I mean, this is so like, dude, I was about to say the F word. I'm serious. Not even thinking I was about to say the F word.
Bro, why would you admit that? Well, yeah, good point.
What?
I was gonna say, I was thinking like, why would you admit that? But I'm like, I don't know. I don't think it matters at this point.
This is so. I don't even know what to say. This is so fruity coated. Okay, this is so fruity coated that that's what I think of. Didn't you think of that too? After wine tasting, but that's just me.
Have you ever been wine tasting before?
No.
Yeah, so you're supposed to spit that shit out, but I'm a cheapskate, so I didn't spit any of it out, and I finished the entire glass every time they gave it to me. And I also had nothing to eat that day, so by the end of that, I was pretty up there.
Slosh.
So I don't even have that connotation with it anymore, because that's what my only experience was.
I just don't even understand, why would it be after the wine tasting? That too, you're supposed to spit it out. It wouldn't even be drinking. You'd just be wine tasting. Why would that incentivize you to have, affairs of that sort?
It could be like a rural type of fetish type thing, because they're usually in like vineyards.
Oh, I see. So it's like their class thinks of this as something elegant. So therefore, it brings you in the mood to have that sort of interaction.
I mean, elegance is really just, if you break it down, that's what it is. It's just showing off to the other sex in one way or another.
But it's so corny. This is something Drake would say. This is Drake Riz.
He would say something even worse than that.
Yeah.
No more tears. What a joke.
Okay, so I'm just gonna take a look at the thread here. Don't really want to just show it all in case. I haven't looked through the entire thread. I was just looking through the highlights.
I love how Twitter has become a minefield now.
Yeah. Okay. So several of the women involved have made their stances public, but the videos are not receiving much traction, while Harry Sisson continues to collect millions of views for his videos, claiming that he is a supporter of women and champion for women's rights.
He is a supporter of getting inside of them.
Yeah.
So wait, hold on. Can I just ask this? Did he do anything wrong besides not be a feminist?
Yeah, see, that's what I was coming to as well. I was like, I don't even understand exactly what he's doing that, would warrant this expose. I think the one thing that she wants to shock you with is that he persuaded them into sending explicit photos of themselves, which is just, trying to pick up chicks. And she said, including one of from a domestic abuse survivor. So I guess you're never supposed to be hit on again. Well, technically you're not supposed to be hit on, but you know, in that sense. But let me finish. Let me finish. But I just mean that you're not supposed to get like guys asking you for any sort of like, you know, I mean, what they usually want from you, and they usually say it like this. And if it were a normal woman, it would be better, as opposed to one that's been through that sort of thing. Like, why does that make it so much more significant unless he was like, unless there was some sort of like legitimate coercion? Like,
I was going to bring that up.
Sense of like sending it to him.
I was going to bring that up too. Like, they mentioned that in the first tweet you read, that you read, where it's like, and one was a domestic abuse survivor, and it's like, okay.
Yeah,
did he
exactly.
beat her up?
I mean, it's like, you know, unless he was doing something like vile, you know what I'm saying? Like, unless it was like, you know, he was, you know, continuing the cycle, or, you know, literally like just like pressuring them through some sort of means, like, I'll do this to you if you don't send me, you know, yourself, like, you know, in this position and all that. You know, if he's doing something like that, okay, we could see why that's a problem. And but, you know, like saying like, oh yeah, I think you're like hot, I want to, you know, fuck you after a wine tasting, I will, you know, but that's just me, you know, like, I mean, what are we exactly getting at here as far as like the big sin that's taking place?
Why do you keep saying it like that, bro?
What? But that's just me.
Dude, that reminds me of that one Asian broad. You know the one you know who I'm talking about. Natalie Tran or whatever.
Yeah.
That's just like that cringe shit.
Yeah.
God,
but this is cringe. This is cringe. Okay. So let's see. So several women made their stances public. Yeah, okay, so we saw that. Let's see. So let's watch some of the women, I guess, talk about it. The ones that won't take 5 damn minutes to explain, because apparently there are some of those, and I can't listen to a woman talk for 5 minutes. Sorry, but
not even for 2 minutes,
I mean,
apparently.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't know if I'll be able to focus on the video, but see, I'm trying to find one that I'll be able to focus on that's short enough. Okay, well, this one's a 20-second clip of some chick, so hopefully I can pay attention for that, guys. I can't pause this. I'm trying to pause it so I can play it. It says I'm still sharing. That doesn't make sense. Okay. So it was all like I played some of it and I was trying to pause it so bad, and it was honestly just even I heard it for 3 seconds and it was challenging, but let's see. Okay. I don't know why it's like small like that.
He did inform me that there was
You gotta turn off your
no
camera,
roster, essentially.
Why is it so small? Yeah. Okay, there we go. I was just asking why it was so small. The video.
I don't know.
So let's see. You can hear it, right, when I play it?
Yeah.
Did inform me that there was no roster, essentially implying I was the only person he was talking to, the only person he was receiving photos from. And I was, again, fine with that. But of course, if you're going to tell me that there's no roster and I'm the only person you're talking to, he didn't.
Well, I mean, women kind of do that all the time. But anyway, so his big sin is like, you know, being kind of a dick, I guess. Like, he's just telling him that he has no other women. Well, he does. That's the big sin.
He's just fighting fire with fire at this point.
Bro knows game. Bro knows women. Honestly, it seems like he does. As much as he wants to pose as like, oh, I'm like pro like women and stuff. Like, I mean, he clearly knows something about him.
I mean, here's the other thing. Don't they always say they want a feminist guy anyway? So
yeah, he's exactly like he's just posing. He might as well just be posing that as that.
Might as well.
You know, so like basically, I mean, you know, he's thinking. I'm sure this is bro's like game right here. It's Yeah, let me say the things they want to hear. Let me get big on TikTok, and then I'll use that leverage to get as many women as I want. Tell them all that they're just the only one that I'm talking to. And somebody had to blow up his spot clearly, but aside from that, bro was winning. I mean, he was. I mean, not in the sense of being looked at as a irrespectable individual by men, but at least he was getting what he wanted out of it. If you're talking about play.
It sounds like he's still winning because like they're saying that nobody gives a shit about these videos.
Dude, I mean, he's still on YouTube getting his views, so I mean that too. That is even according to the lady. Let's see. So I did want to point out. Well, let me just see if there's anything else that is worth talking about. I'm just gonna read one that I'm seeing in the thread without showing it on screen, just because it seems like it's a lot of effort to screencast, and on the internet it's a lot of demand. But so this one, she's claiming one more of Harry's lies. You can check out the thread for yourself and read along. But he says, this is him to some girl on Snapchat. You definitely have a lot to offer, no doubt. I think right now I can't do exclusivity. So he's telling her, but let's see. Not because I'm getting nudes from a bunch of girls. Okay, so that's where she's saying he's lying. Or fucking girls and stuff. I don't hook up with anyone ever, but because I don't think I'd be able to commit 100% to something. Also, since we live in different states, exclusivity would be hard. So I'm not balancing a bunch of girls at once. My mind and energy are just other places right now, and I don't have much more to give. So I don't even think he's asking them to be exclusive, which is kind of an L, but
he's got so much to give.
Yeah, it's not that there's competition. I'm not getting nudes. Yeah, so he's just basically saying like, oh, I'm not getting the photos from them that he's getting. So
why would you even mention that?
They're probably asking him since he's well known. It's like, oh, are you talking to a bunch of girls like this? Because it's kind of expected, right?
At that point, you just got to hit him with the what? What?
What?
I couldn't even fathom of such a thing.
That's how Drake probably talks. What, girl? That's how Drake says it. Oh, girl, you tripping. Girl, I would never do that to anyone. All right, let's see. I imagine that's how Drake says it. Girl, I would never talk to anyone but you. Let's see. Starts singing her a song over messages. He starts singing her a song.
Like voice text?
Yeah, like the voice memo. Yeah. He's probably like, yeah, girl, I just wrote this one today over you, girl. I love you, girl. You the one. This is Drake's game probably too. Okay, so let me stop my camera. Let's look at Harry Sisson's latest video right here, 21 hours ago, or at least this is the one that shows up in my feed. Freaky MAGA congressman outed at his town hall. So bro's just like going after other niggas, saying they're freaky. I mean, at least he's pointing out, something other than just having a bunch of women, as we can see here. But in the thumbnail, I want to kind of watch this because I want to see what he talks about and just kind of like see if we can draw any parallels to his situation with any of this, dude. Like, let's just take a look.
He's not just a feminist; he's also like a leftoid kind of guy too.
Yeah. Well, at least like Democrat. I think maybe like standard Democrat dude. Like
for
probably,
a lot of MAG.
Maybe I don't know about like lefty. I don't think so, but I don't know.
For a lot of MAGA Republicans, every accusation is a confession. We see it all the time where these Republicans are condemning something or someone, and then in secret, they're doing that very thing. And this topic was actually brought up at a town hall recently with Republican.
I wonder if we can find him condemning like his own actions anywhere on his Twitter. It'd be kind of crazy.
Like a anti-Andrew
even though
Tate
bro's
type.
game is better than what this congressman is doing.
Baumgartner, he's a huge Trump supporter. He was asked to respond to allegations that he's been using the LGBT dating app Grindr in secret. So just take.
If you're a congressman, why would you be doing that? You're going to get exposed, dude. If you have any sort of like clout, why would you be doing that?
Well, the better question is, why would you be doing that at all?
I mean, I'm just saying, if these guys really want to do that, like, why would they like why don't they cover their tracks or some shit? You know, like they're just making it out in the open at that point and expecting not to get exposed. It's like it's like so like you're not risk averse at all, you know?
The other thing is, like, if you're a gay guy, it really shouldn't be that hard to just find somebody in, like, I don't know, a club or something like that. It's not like it's difficult for that to happen. Why would you be on the app where it can be linked to you?
Well, I mean, they probably got photographed at clubs, no? It's like, oh, there's that congressman.
I guess, but I don't know. I feel like the app is more damning. You could like make.
I mean, they had a whole island where you could just, you know, be off these apps, but you know that had to get shut down for them.
They just had to get shut down.
They just had to get shut down. This is why they're getting exposed now, because they have nowhere else to go.
They find another island.
Yeah. Well, now they have to make like a gay sex island. I mean, like another one, but like specifically for that, I guess.
Another one.
No, like straight sex they're allowed. It's banned.
Like if you get caught having like straight sex, you get deported.
Yeah, exactly. You're never allowed again.
You're
Take
fired.
a look at the question and, of course, his response.
They like force themselves upon you. They make you be gay there.
I mean, it's not out of character.
How will you respond
I mean, if it's happening to a politician, can we really be that mad?
to the allegations that you've been using the LGBT dating app Grindr in secret?
Of course, this happens at a college.
My wife.
He said something about my wife. I couldn't hear it though.
My wife.
Now, look, listen, I actually looked into the story to see if there were allegations of this taking place. And the person that was asking the question was basing it off of something. I didn't find anything in my research, but I didn't hear a no.
Bruh. Oh, there's no evidence, but you know, he didn't like deny it outright. So, I mean, we just have to assume that it's possible. So if you don't deny it, you are doing it. And if you deny it, you're still doing it. There's no out. Like there's no way out of, you know, these, if you get alleged to do one of these things, there's like nothing you can say, apparently.
Allegedly.
I like how a minute in, bro tells us, yeah, there's no evidence for this situation whatsoever. I'm just talking about it on my YouTube channel because like, haha, funny Republican is gay.
I mean, it is funny to be fair, if it's true, but there's like,
I mean,
no
it would be funny if it
reason
was
to
true. If we see,
believe
I mean, like, I wouldn't want to see bro in a compromising, you know, position, but if he was like in some like dating profile wearing a fucking gimp suit, I'd be like laughing my ass off. I mean, it would be funny, but it's just like, dude, like, I mean, at least come with something, like even just like fake evidence, dude. Like, oh, this person posted this on Twitter about him. Yeah, okay, so I mean, like, can we at least, you know, what is he going to talk about for the rest of the video? He's got 8 minutes left.
Probably just bashing Republicans.
He's probably going to read the Reddit replies. He's just going to go one by one.
For 1,000
users, just some article.
Users reported a Grindr outage.
He's talking about Republicans in general, like their congressmen and people that go to these RNCs. I mean, you know, I'm not saying they're not, because I'm sure there are plenty of them, but I mean, it's also kind of ignoring the fact, like, okay, first of all, haha, it's funny. Gay Republicans, like, okay, that is funny, but they're also kind of ignoring the fact that they let gay people in openly, like they're cool with that now. So
yeah,
I mean, like, if there really was an outage, would you really be surprised that there is just like a sect of them that are using it? I don't see how that relates to all of them.
Bro, like Republican is like the new hipster coffee shop. Like
yeah, exactly. Like, there's a bunch of gay dudes that are openly gay and Republican. So like I wouldn't be surprised if a Republican national convention would still cause an outage because there's just a bunch of gay Republicans. Because they're just okay with that. I mean, I even watched like some Charlie Kirk clip where there's a guy who's like, I'm a gay Republican or gay conservative. And Charlie Kirk's like, yeah, we accept you. Welcome to the movement. Like, and then he's like, but you know, we need to get rid of these labels. Like, you know, I just want to see you as a person, you know?
I really wanted to say something. I'm not going to do it.
But anyway, point is, I'm just saying they're open to it, like open to letting them in, open to having them there.
Yeah.
So there's there's not, it's not like it's back in the day where they're like, oh, that's not cool.
It was like 10 years ago, bro.
Yeah. Well, that is back in the day. Anyway, but point being, this is just like, this is such a flawed like methodology for making any sort of point.
I mean, even Trump had like a gay rally, so it's like
that too.
It's not really a valid criticism anymore.
Yeah, when's this article from? Let's see that too, because especially if it's like, I mean, you know, obviously, I think it's going to be post-Trump, but if it's pre-Trump, then we can talk about something, right? But like, you know, obviously, if it's like at all post-Trump, hold on, dude, this is 2024. This is last year. This is way past Trump. Of course, it's going to be like this. Like Trump was basically the one that opened the gates as far as this.
Open the gays?
But not the floodgates. He did not open the floodgates. The flood has yet to happen again. Okay, let's see. But there were fires in California, so.
And it went up to a bunch of Republicans at the RNC and asked them if they were using the app. And I think the video is pretty funny. I think you should take a look here.
So we're going to react to Harry reacting to a guy asking people at the RNC if they are on Grindr.
Yep.
Am I who? Grindr radical ratty wingy pingy? Nah, dude. Oh, you say you be filming? I don't know what this is, bro. Oh, are you Big D Wingy 95 on Grindr? No. Sit me at the women's section? No. Oh no, I'm not gay. No, you passed the test. Yeah, no. You're on Grindr. I'm not on Grindr. You're on Grindr.
Wow, there is a significant amount of people here. And if I, you know, there may be a minority of them, but hey, if I go up to any random person, they should be on Grindr, right? I mean, come on. I guess it's funny trolling, but I mean, like, what are we even learning from this, Harry?
Kind of making a joke out of this. And there's just so many different examples, especially in state legislators around the country, where you have Republicans who propose these anti-LGBTQ plus bills. And then again, in private, they're doing something completely opposite. And I think that, like, look, if you're a Republican and you are part of the LGBTQ plus community, that's great. You can be whoever you want to be. We in the Democratic Party accept you for whoever you want to be. The Republicans, not so much. And I just want to circle.
I mean, do they really not so much accept you?
It doesn't seem like that's the case.
You know, they don't accept you if you want to show books of naked people to children in schools, but you know,
I was going to
maybe
say,
in 10 years they'll be fine with that too.
Will the Democrats accept me if I decide I don't want to give half of my income to the government? Will they accept me then?
I identify as tax exempt.
That's my
now,
gender.
See, the thing is, no, but hold on. This is what I'm trying to point out. Like, Republicans, what have they been talking about as far as not liking what's going on? It's not about, I mean, for the most part, you don't see Republicans. If anything, they're accepting of, and I'm not going to take a stance either way. I'm just saying, objectively speaking, they are more open to it than they have been at any point, right? And on top of that, what are they even against when it comes to these sorts of things in, like, you know, life? Well, it's when they're, I mean, literal evidence of graphic photos in children's, I mean, they're not children's books, but they are being presented as children's books about being not identifying as the same, you know, sex as you were born as, and also having like fake dicks in your mouth, like literally, like this kind of stuff, like is being shown to kids, or was, you know, that's the stuff that Republicans are banning in books. Okay. So, oh, wow. You know, they don't like these people. Oh, well, you look at the books they're coming after. And I mean, it's a little vile to be showing to kids. Don't you think? That's all I'm going to say on that part. But anyway, that's all. But okay. So what else is it? I mean, it's like literally just not liking seeing people naked in public, like at pride parades. Oh, that's cool. That's cool too. And that's cool if kids go. Wow. That's kind of weird. Right. So, I mean, like, and even so, oh, they don't like minors having irreversible surgeries, or even like, you know, just having like delusions entertained by messing them up hormonally and claiming that, oh, it can all be reversed if they regret it. Well, not in every case, but even so, even if it could be reversed, you're still doing damage to them by developing them incorrectly, right? And you're also, I mean, there is a possibility you're actually causing more issues than anything, because if you're giving boys estrogen, that's not so great. I mean, even giving girls more estrogen is not great either, but that's beyond the point, I guess, here. But point being is like, you're doing these things to kids. You're telling them that they can be, a lot of different things that before would have been seen as insane and still are by, at least one faction for the most part. And you're telling us, oh, wow, well, it's hypocritical that one of them would be on Grindr. Okay. So, I mean, they don't like, even so, I'm just saying these are the things that they are clearly against, and then the other stuff they're not as against, right? I'm not saying one way or another, but I'm just saying, where's the hypocrisy at? You are trying to use that in an attempt to justify terrible things that are affecting children specifically. All these things I pointed out relate to children, right? You are trying to justify vile things happening to children, irreversible things, life-ruining, life-altering things under the guise of, oh, well, if you are at all, pro whatever, or, if you're a Republican, you'd be hypocritical not to accept that as well. Well, okay. I don't know, man. I'm just saying that's what he's trying to say right now, which we could break that down even further. But I'm just saying for the purposes of this, Harry is retarded.
I agree. Send this nigga to the penis explosion chamber immediately.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm sure it's reversible.
It has to be reversible. What are you talking about?
Back to the whole, every accusation is a
well, it's not happening to anybody below the age of 18. Okay. So it's okay. It's not like they were convinced before being that age when they were a kid. What would you call that if you convince a kid to take a certain path in life that is, very much damaging if they regret that, especially to, a sexual aspect? What would you call that? What would you call that? Encouraging a minor to do certain sexual things related to sex, things related to sex that, take a greater understanding than they probably have of what that thing is. What would you call that? I don't know. Grooming? But that's just me. I must be crazy.
That's just me, though.
Yeah, me personally. Okay, let's see.
With the Republicans, and it really just proves to be true consistently, especially recently. I mean, we saw that in Minnesota, Republicans introduced a bill to define Trump derangement syndrome as a mental illness. Of course, this sparked a lot of backlash. A bill that was
that's like elite trolling right there. I gotta respect your game. I didn't know you had game like that, Republicans.
Introduced by Minnesota Senate Republicans to define so-called Trump derangement syndrome as a mental illness has provoked backlash, with some saying the bill trivializes mental health care in the state regardless of the seriousness of its original intent. The bill, authored by Minnesota Senators Eric Lucero, Steve Drazkowski, a bunch of different people, specifically this guy, Justin Eichhorn, you should pay attention to, and available to read in full below, called for Trump derangement syndrome to be added to the list of definitions.
Okay, he's just trying to relate this to, okay, now you guys are just straight up, like you guys are delusional. I don't know. It's not really related to his main point of the video, but
an attorney in a Senate office did not immediately respond.
Well, transgender children, as if, that's like what they actually are.
Threatened to defund schools that accommodate transgender children. So essentially, if a school is saying, hey, this child wants to be who they want to be, their parents are obviously in alignment with that child, let's take care of them and make sure that they're comfortable. Donald Trump said, yeah, I think we should defund those schools.
Based, like unironically, that one, I really don't even have problems with that one. I really, there's nothing I could really point out as like this policy having some underlying issue.
The concept of transgender children is hilariously tone deaf.
How did we make it to the point? I mean, obviously this thing has been in circles like for some time now, but how did we make it to the point where this is just normal to people? Whereas if like you're the crazy one for saying, yeah, no, school shouldn't be accommodating that.
It's really funny too, because if you look at it on like a timeline, it's very easy to see how you can basically justify anything with enough social pressure. Like if you just react,
the idea. It's just been exposing people to the idea over time. I mean, I remember this being called crazy by basically everybody in 2015, 2016. And like, everybody's like, no, this stuff is never going to happen. That's happening right now. And then all this stuff is happening right now. And they're just gaslighting us into thinking this was normal all along.
Don't you know though, that nothing ever happens?
Yeah, exactly.
Would you look at the
It's a repeated
time?
threat to defund schools accused of teaching or critical race theory and that accommodate transgender students has become part of a rallying call for the right in a culture war over what children should be exposed to, driving the news, according to Axios, imprinting anti-American, subversive, harmful.
So, I mean, the point here is that he literally like unveils what his whole point of this was the whole time by the end of it, that I was literally pointing out earlier before even having seen this part of the video, that like, supposedly like because Republicans like, oh, well, there's a significant portion of them on Grindr. Okay, well, now accept mutilating children if you're so pro-gay. I don't want to comment on that further.
Yeah, this is...
But anyway,
yeah,
my point here this whole time is literally this man is deranged. And he's using that as a way to sort of funnel people into this opinion that children should be treated like this, which is crazy, Harry. Harry, I thought you had game, but I can't respect the grind here. I could have respected the whole, I'm a feminist and all that. I mean, I don't, but I'm just saying, as far as, trying to get what you were getting, whatever, man. That's your game. That's your game. That's your way of getting in. Guys have been doing that for ages now, but to now introduce it as, well, not only that, but I'm okay with all these things happening to kids. Now, Harry, you've crossed a line. That's crazy, man. You can't be doing this.
I believe it was Rolo who somebody said it actually, but he brings it up every now and then. Like, as soon as you identify as a male feminist, it's only a countdown until you get like a scandal relating to that. But this was like nothing. This was absolutely nothing. People just got pissed off that he had more than one girl in his DMs, which, I mean, let's be honest here. It's just your game being played against you.
Yep. Well, they want the leverage, man. Women especially. I mean, they get upset when guys do things that, they think is okay to do.
This is it's unacceptable that I can't leverage this guy and manipulate him in a way where he's basically subservient to me and my whims. Exactly. I thought this was America.
No, I mean, that's literally it. That's literally it. I thought this was the West.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought this was America.
Okay, so I have another thing we're going to move on to here. I don't know if you've seen this, but there is a chick advertising. Let me stop my camera again. Advertising her purity on Twitter. What it's like being a virgin in 2025. I'm 18 and I've never been with a man. Zoomer boys have no sex drive anyway. Too busy scrolling Insta or clout chasing to care. Lots of talk, but no passion. A generation of unserious men. And then here she is with a mirror photo, like censoring at her eyes. But here she is in those short shorts and, whatever this crop top thing is, like showing like a bunch of herself anyway. But it not only gets like that, it's actually more severe. So we're going to look at this over here. This guy's saying she should just do corn. What's the point of this? It would be more honest. I mean, come on. This is like one step away from Sophie Rain, where she's like, guys, I'm a virgin, to entice guys. This one's in a bikini in her profile photo, literally thirst trapping.
Do you think that actually works though? Like, if you're already doing the industry shit, but you're claiming to be a virgin, even if you assume it's true, does that actually make people more attracted to that? As opposed to someone that just doesn't mention it at all. Like, I can't see that being a huge...
They're catching on to guys wanting this, but, the OF thing is like contradictory to that anyway of what they want it for to begin with. But I think this is like a line, obviously, like, it would be more honest to just do the, content, but she is like thirst trapping for a reason, because it is working, at least for getting clout on Twitter. And she's saying guys are worrying too much about chasing clout. What do you think you're doing when you're like, oh, I'm a virgin in 2025 and here's my bikini photo? Like, come on, what do you call that? And another instance of hypocrisy unveiled.
Cross center thing too.
Yep. Yeah. She had like a series of tweets below that. There was like a thread. She said, people flex their body counts like I've had 10. Let's see. I'll pull it up. People flex their body counts like I've had 10 partners, but barely have sex. Everyone's got low drive and depression. Sex isn't even sacred anymore. It's like self-harm with extra steps. My friends hook up to feel alive, then cry about it. Zoomer boys will flirt online, but in real life, nothing. They'd rather vape or rant about crypto and play video games. No one pursues. Sorry, I fuck that up. No one pursues anything real. Everyone's got a roster. Oh, like Harry, but no passion. It's all fake, performative, with no soul. I don't know. It's a mess. Sex lost its meaning. Men and women are an ocean apart. They've lost all connection to God and nature. Sex is dead, and we killed it. Well, you see, the thing is, she's like, oh, well, these Zoomer guys have no passion. I wonder why that is. Like, why would Zoomer guys be not encouraged to go talk to women? I don't know. Maybe because like cold approaching is literally a humiliation ritual these days that makes women feel even more entitled to guys' attention. Right? Like, I don't know, maybe the fact that, you know, women are racking up their body counts anyway, and like in the West, it's like very hard to even find a woman that's actually saying, you know, she's keep saving herself, which this woman's just obviously incorporating that for clout. But just saying in general, the ones that aren't advertising on social media like this, the ones that are actually just like saving themselves for a good guy, like, you know, a proper man is what I should say. Like, you know, this whole thing is just kind of ridiculous that she's like not even seeing the issue for what it is. Like, as far as like, she can kind of point out what's going on, but she can't really bring it to any cause. You know, it's as if we're, you know, men are just weak now. All of a sudden they just decided to give up for no reason at all one day. Right. But it's not as if there's nothing, or at least not a lot left to fight for them when they are dealing with way more rejection, way less of an ease of finding a woman that hasn't just been with a bunch of guys compared to their parents, their grandparents, and so on.
Yeah, I don't know. See, here's the one problem I see with this kind of thing, though. Like, well, I mean, if you wouldn't be advertising it like that. At least not about the intention of getting a guy, which would be like over in like a minute. But anyway,
yeah,
there is such a level of cynicism that's been bred by this kind of culture where even if a woman does say that, it does seem like the automatic response is to disbelieve until proven otherwise. So there's a chance, I mean, I don't really know if it matters whether or not she is a virgin or not, but there's a chance she is one. And if she is actually,
you were cutting out for me. I don't know if you're still there.
oh, nigga.
Yeah, say it one more time.
Basically, the culture makes it so that even if there is someone that does have her views unironically or genuinely, it's less likely to be believed.
Yeah. You know, the thing is, like, you don't even, as a woman, you don't even need to show your face online to find a guy. Like, you can literally just say, like, I want a boyfriend, and you will have your DMs flooded, and you can pick through it until you find the guy you want, like, in like a day. You know, you can pick a day from now and be married to the perfect guy for what you want. But, you know, they decide, hey, let me just e-whore online. Like, that's not enough for me. That's not enough for me, which is crazy. I mean, it's like, so what was the point in you even being a virgin if you're going to, like, let's say she actually is. I don't care. Her doing all this is like 10 bodies anyway. I'm just saying, man, like, it doesn't matter. You're like, you're defeating the point. That's the whole thing. Like, Sophie Rain, you're defeating the point. The whole point isn't just literally, oh, well, you know, I just have never had a guy and that's it. You know, that's all there is to it. No, it's an aspect of what it means, you know, to wait for a man that you're going to be with, what it means to form that connection with him, what it means to grow with him. You're ignoring all of that just for the sake of like, oh, well, I still have my chastity. But no, you don't have like that emotional purity. You don't have that that aspect of you that is like, you know, feminine. You've lost that. You're losing it.
The big thing about the virginity thing too is it's more about the purity implied within it than it is the actual act itself. Because like even if you like, I don't know, a lot of these girls, they'll do like solo shit and stuff like that. But even if you're doing that, you're not actually getting any kind of you know, physical touch from a man. You're still not pure. Like, it's gone. It's lost now. Like, even just having the link in your bio, it doesn't even matter if it's like something innocent. It's kind of, that alone kind of has like a connotation of degradation almost of like your purity. So it's like they're really trying to market it, but they're too fucking stupid to understand why it's desirable to begin with.
Like,
So
would you rather have a woman with one body but no social media, or a woman who is a virgin, but in the sense of like not having been with a guy like inside of her, but has a 500,000 snap score, has like 10,000 followers on Instagram and is public, like has a Twitter that has like 40,000 followers? Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, clearly there's something wrong here.
Well, bro, she's never been touched by a man. Obviously, I gotta go.
Yeah, but I don't know. That's a question of if a man has ever seen her naked, which Sophie Rain's case, I mean, everybody's seen her naked. So what does it really do at that point? What are you really getting from that? Sophie Rain and also the fact that how many guys are messaging her, and assuming she does any of that herself as far as messaging them back, she's like building this experience with talking to guys. Like, if anything, she's going to have way more experience than any guy she talks to as far as talking with the opposite sex. So at this point, and plus she has all that clout. So she has way more leverage than whoever she's going to be with. She's not going to have respect for him in all these ways. And plus her earnings just make that the case as well. She's not going to be able to be with a guy she respects. I mean, just honestly, she's excluded herself from so much of the dating pool as far as finding a guy that won't just be a simp that she's going to settle down for, all that. That's really the only thing she can do at this point.
Yeah. This reminds me of maybe that's a bad example though. I was gonna bring up the whole thing with Andrew Wilson's wife, where she's had two husbands before him or something like that.
It was 2 previous marriages.
Then people are like, gotcha. Which, I mean, admittedly, it's not the best situation, but I mean, it seems to, at least she's not whoring around is a thing.
Yeah.
It's at least within the confines of what was perceived to be an exclusive, traditional probably relationship at that. So it's not even really comparable to it's not like he's dating an OnlyFans woman or something like that.
That would be way worse. That would be just indefensible.
It would be so over for him.
Yeah.
But the point I was getting at here is it's not so much about the actual virginity itself. It's kind of how you carry yourself in spite of that, and what the implication of that is. Because if you again, the example you brought up, if you had a girl or the one guy we know, a girl that has 2 bodies, but it's in the confines of a serious relationship, there's some kind of attachment there where it's not just transactional sex or whatever. I mean, it's still not ideal, obviously.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's a lot better than one girl that's had no sex, and I mean, well, just any kind of social media presence that is mainstream to some extent. After that, it's kind of over. So
talking with guys to that extent, I mean, it just does something to you, with your brain chemistry as a woman.
For real.
I mean, just having a public Instagram account where there are guys thirsting over you, it does something to you. You start to see guys as less, Yeah,
I'm coming around on your obsession with the follower account.
Yeah, I mean, it's you got to be careful with that, man. You really got to be careful with that.
Yeah, and I mean, I have my criticisms of even the desire to be posting shit on Instagram anyway.
It's just so normalized. I mean, chicks in middle school do that shit.
I don't even post shit on Instagram that often. And I'm not even looking for anything like that.
Don't find a woman more active on social media than you are either. If she's gonna be active on social media, it needs to be less, bro.
It's over if that's the case.
Yeah.
Well, you can't have my number, but you can get my Insta though.
Yeah. Gotta find a chick that's just more to herself, dude. That's ideal.
You got to go after the autistic ones.
Yeah, even if she's got a Facebook with family in there and friends, that's still better than fucking Snapchat even, or even a Snapchat, but didn't really even post anything, didn't really DM a bunch of people. Having the Snapchat itself is different. Instagram, maybe just a bunch of, again, family, friends, maybe even used to post stuff, but it wasn't super sexual or anything. And she kind of just doesn't even have anything anymore, private account, stuff like that, but if we're talking about what we were just talking about now, it's going to make it worse.
A storm.
Yeah. Let's see. So let me pull this up. I don't know which one to pull up first. I'll pull this one up first. since it's kind of related to what we're talking about. I mean, they all kind of are, but we're going to pull up Mr. Incel here. Literally Mr. Incel.
Huh?
Literally Mr. Incel. Like an Incel account, dude. It's Incel's Co.
Oh.
Let's see. But no, but like this is the screenshot he posted of a TikTok video. And so there's this chick right here. She's posting a TikTok. Nobody talks about the guilt of not liking back the kindest guy that you know would treat you right. And so he sums it up. He says, you don't want the guy that treats you right. You're just holding out for a good looking man. Like clearly there's something wrong with the guy in your eyes as far as attractiveness. I mean, or just like any sort of like, you know, even just personality as far as like what kind of guy he is, because she's saying kind guy. I mean, girls don't really want like a, you know, typically, you know, they don't want like a guy that's like, oh my God, babe, you know, you're so great. You're the best thing that's ever happened to me. I need you, you know. They want a guy that, if anything, is kind of colder on the colder end and less emotionally, like, you know, if anything, less emotionally available because they got daddy issues a lot of the time. And then, you know, obviously a guy that's not going to simp over them or anything, because that just doesn't work out in the long run.
You should have seen that guy's face when he saw the Gyat. I don't know why I thought about it.
Should have seen the look on that prick's face when he saw the Gat.
But yeah, there's this kind of like, damn, I don't even know what you would call that. Like schizophrenia almost, where, oh, he would treat me great and all, but I don't know. I just don't like him back. It's like, there's really no other way to say it. You're not attracted to people that would quote unquote treat you great, because treating you great is just, you know, idol worship at that point.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, even like outside of like a sexual context, would you want to be around people? Would you want to be around people that are like constantly like glazing the fuck out of you? Like you're just going to get like food or whatever. He's like, oh man, you're so great. Your car's so great. Oh, dude, the way you smile, like it's getting a little gay there, but you get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, it would be.
It's just like, bro, what's wrong with you? Are you trying to like, what are you, gay or something?
Yeah, exactly. Like that one dude that was talking about Mr. Wigger.
Oh,
he just kept complimenting his physique.
Yeah.
And he just kept saying no homo, but like it was like clearly homo.
Dude, every time he says that, I mean, he says he watches T porn. God damn it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, not a lot of.
Dude, I should pull up that one chick that I was talking about in the server.
Who?
The one that lost that weight.
Yeah, I don't know who you're talking about.
The one that had a transformation from what people were calling fat into like really thin.
Oh wait. Oh, I thought you were talking about the other thing
Pouch girl.
I mentioned.
Pouch girl.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about still.
Okay, well, I'm gonna have to pull it up for you, buddy.
You're gonna have to, because I don't know what you're talking about, pal. Yeah.
Okay, so right here, bud.
Oh, this girl.
So apparently there's some guy on 4chan saying my girlfriend has a pouch-like pic and it doesn't seem to go away no matter how hard she hits the gym. Is surgery my only hope? So this chick, I mean, like, people are calling her fat. Like this chick right here. I mean, I guess like she has a little chub here. You can see in the arms and all that. But she definitely looks better like this because she got the boobas and shit than she does here after she loses the weight. Look how they massacred my boy.
Is that Ozempic? Like that shouldn't be.
Dude, like the face transformation is like, it's this is what a homosexual man wants in a twink.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Like, I didn't even think that was the same girl because I couldn't even match the face.
This one looks like, look at how thin she is. The boobs shrunk. Looks less fertile, frankly, than the other chick. Face is just a little unsettling, especially the lighting. It's probably the makeup and the lighting. But this one just looks better, man. This one looks more like you can impregnate this one just fine.
Easily.
Dude, I mean, I could impregnate her right now, but if she looked like that.
Yo.
But this one, I don't even know if she could carry, that's too skinny. She has no body fat. This does not look like an optimal woman's body fat. Like, I don't know. People in like the red pill space, like some people at least, or I think they're just more prone to it. Like they keep saying like women are fat, like and obviously there are a lot of fat women that people are just calling not fat, which is like delusional. But like it's like, this is good. We like this. This is, I mean, I don't like the fact that she's wearing a skin tight outfit on a photo, but and clearly going to a social event like that, that's kind of crazy. But I mean, just looking like that is better than looking like this.
That guy, the first response.
Yeah, she looks far better in the left photo. Sometimes I wonder if some of you might be gay. And then he said, what's your body fat percentage? But like, seriously, like you need a woman that looks like you can impregnate her, bro.
For real.
So Mr. Humvee says the patch in most women is natural. You mean the pouch, as it protects the womb.
Yeah, that's the fucking abs on some women.
This is getting close to looking like a dude. I'm just saying, man. And yeah, the ones that have abs too is just crazy. I mean, at least these people still call the ab ones homosexual, but like, man, it's just these people are crazy. This guy likes this chick as is. Zerka even likes this chick here. I don't know why. This guy's saying, no, you just like big tits if you're saying she looked better here. But no, that's not the only case. Like, it's just...
I do.
She looks too thin here. She looks underweight.
So there's like a level of like frailty to their frame that is somewhat desirable. But at the same time, you don't want them to look like a survivor, so to speak.
Yeah, and I get what you're saying there, but this chick just doesn't look good like this. Like it's, I don't know.
She doesn't.
Maybe I'm somewhat disturbed by the face too.
Like, okay, so honestly, if I saw a girl like this, I wouldn't be immediately turned off just from the body type. It just wouldn't be ideal, is the thing.
I think the face is just, a bigger issue for me right now.
Yeah, the face isn't great.
Looks like you tried to looks max. That's,
You started mewing?
Yeah, bro, but intensely. Like she looks like 13 from House.
It took me a while to figure out who that was.
The one with the big jaw, man.
Yeah. What's her name?
In real life, Olivia Wilde.
That's the one, yeah.
She looks like her. Like the facial structure, man.
Yeah, man. People are just against all fat, which is kind of gross.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Like I would take that.
Obviously, you don't want a fat wife, but just
over the other one, like not even thinking about it.
See, this I'm like smash easily. This one I'm like, I don't know.
Why you sound like you're a Canadian? Well, I don't know. Or like Scottish.
I don't know about that one.
Yeah, 100% smash first one. Maybe the second one.
Okay, so let me pull up. And so you have guys that don't like women looking like that, and you also have women that are just, they really don't like short guys. Is what I was going to point out. I mean, look at this. Look at this, for example. Like, they make a lot of TikToks about it. Life is too short to like a short guy. I mean, they really make it excessive. Like, it was, come on, it was not this hard back in the day as a short guy. Like you are at so much levels of over if you are a short guy today compared to back then. Like, there's so much more emphasis on it. I mean, if we're talking about way back when like you had to be a bigger dude for survival, that's one thing. I mean, even protection in general, like even beyond that makes sense. But I feel like it's just become so much more excessive. It has. I mean, obviously we're not talking like 5'2", 5'3", 5'4". Sorry, my boy Zari is, but you know, but anyway, but what I'm really saying is, you know, like since when was 6 foot the metric, you know? I don't even have to hate from being that height, you know? I'm just trying to say, I'm trying to defend guys out here. Like, what the hell is this? This is delusional. Like, you know, why does it, and you know, they always underestimate how tall guys are, right? I mean, it's like, obviously you're going to find a tall guy attractive, but it's like, what's short to them? 5'8"? That's like an average height.
I was going to say, it appears to me, maybe it's just the area I'm in, but women do seem to be a lot taller these days than they were previously.
That's true too. They are.
It's really
like 5'7", man. Like that's crazy.
I'm not even talking about. I told you about that one broad I saw at the grocery store. Like she works there, dude. She looks like she's 7 feet tall. I don't know.
No, but what I'm saying is like, why are there so many women like in this generation that are the average height of an average guy?
Well, it would have to be the diet, but I mean, it's pretty fucking rough. I mean, it kind of evens out because, like, I mean, if you're rational and not hormonally annihilated, you're not going to be attracted to a taller woman anyway. Mm-hmm. But that's not anywhere near, not even on the table of discussion compared to the other way around with women in height. So niggas are fucked.
Yeah.
Like me personally, if I see a girl and she's really good looking, you are so good looking. And she's really good looking, but she's like taller and or at my height. It's like, I think I'm good. I think I'll pass. But most people don't really have that kind of standard. Which honestly, you know, now that I think about it, that might be going into the whole feminization thing.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Let me just pull up a different thing.
Because the other thing is, I don't remember. I mean, granted, I'm a lot older than I was before. I don't remember the whole, like, you know, pain, suffering, degradation thing being a thing for men up until, like, maybe the past 5 years.
Before I would drag my balls through a mile of shattered glass just to hear her fart through a walkie-talkie.
Bro, like, we know people like this. This shit's crazy.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I remember back in the day, you used to beat someone up for that.
Yeah.
But
for the same reason that you would beat Harry Sisson.
You're being a feminist?
A different F word.
Well, disavow. I would never do that.
Let's see. So let's bring up a big story here. I don't know if you saw this, but it's going to be bigger than what we've been showing.
Taller than that Asian girl I sent in the DMs?
I didn't see it, but here.
Of course.
But here. Our boy that likes the degradation stuff, and also this woman is going to be so pleased to see this. Sabrina Carpenter getting Eiffel Towered on stage by some guys. I don't know who these are, but Sabrina Carpenter shows off her. Let me just open the image in a new tab. Jesus, doesn't let me zoom into images. This is shitty. Okay, but anyway, look at this.
Bro, she's got no ass.
If this isn't a level of degrading, right? Like, this is at a Paris show. But if this isn't some level of degrading, you know, but oh my God, girl, you're so empowered. You're so empowered, girl, for doing this. But this is just wild. So there was a tweet about this.
No ass.
Actually. Yeah.
Non-existent.
Also that. Let me just turn that off for a second. But also true. But anyway, so somebody here is saying maybe, just maybe, she doesn't see sex. This is going to be your feminist position. This is empowering. Maybe, just maybe, she doesn't see sex as something degrading. Maybe girls are allowed to see sex as something intimate, or dare I say fun and expressive. So,
Hold
I mean,
on.
if you're seeing it as something intimate, clearly you're not going to be on stage doing this with two guys, right?
Yo, what the fuck is intimate about doing that on a fucking
Nothing.
concert?
It's the opposite of intimate. Sex was always supposed to be intimate, but this is how it gets destroyed, that intimacy. But it's like, dare I say, fun and expressive. So you're still describing being a whore, but yeah, apparently this is normal, and normal to advertise to women and make it like normalized as behavior. I even saw some, like, I think it was like a Pixar animation or something, but there was like some like fucking chungus ass woman, like, you know, not even a good build, but people are like, oh my god, she's another hot Pixar mom, and she's like ugly as hell because it looks like a Grubhub design. But there was like one scene, I think this was the same thing, where she was like twerking in front of her son while he's doing homework, and people are like, oh my god, it's just like a fun dance or whatever. And there was also this one like in real life, I don't know if I played that one, but it was like some mom at like a party. It was like a single mom. She starts twerking, very inappropriate time too, and there's her kid there, and he's like stopping her. He's like stopping people from like enjoying it because, you know, clearly there's something wrong with enjoying that from a single mom, bro. Have some respect for yourself. But anyway, you know, it's just this whole thing of like, oh my god, twerking, there's nothing sexual about it. It literally is sexual. What do you mean? Or like, even if it is sexual, it's like, oh, but there's nothing wrong with that. You know, kids can look at that. That's fine. It's like, okay, well, now you're still getting into the whole kids thing. That it's, you know, it's very, very unsettling that you guys are doing this.
Well, it's fine because they don't have to worry about having kids because they're going to worry about their career.
Yeah. Well, kids are old enough to decide if they want to mutilate. So, I mean, you know, obviously they can be okay with twerking. But anyway, so you're going to see how long that one is. Scorched earth policy.
God.
Back at it again. Should I read the whole thing?
I mean, yeah.
Might as well.
Okay. So here's what he says. He says, maybe, just maybe, the common stigma of being a whore associated with frequent casual sex collectively shared by nearly every functioning civilization throughout all of human history up until a minuscule sliver of time in recency happens to be correct. Maybe, just maybe, the immediate reflex of disgust, revulsion, and disdain all men feel when witnessing a woman they are interested in get used like a jerk-off rag by indiscriminate strangers happens to a flare-up. Well, he said happens to be is what he meant, I'm sure, but happens to be a flare-up for a particular reason. Maybe, just maybe, the initial apprehension towards losing virginity or the nagging feeling of shame after the first few instances of completely casual sex most women feel could be hinting at some biologically ingrained truth. Maybe, just maybe, the fact that every single type of polyamorous sexual proclivity involves dispelling deeply ingrained instincts of discomfort both before and after for newcomers suggests that such activities may not be natural. Maybe, just maybe, the types of people who dispose of thousands of years of heuristic wisdom in favor of rational scientific conclusions, well, you know, I mean, how rational are they? Should consider the plethora of scientific and statistical evidence correlating high promiscuity to worsening long-term relationships. Maybe, just maybe, when an entire civilization's worth of normal people have designated whore behavior as something negative with a stigma attached to it, this behavior might not be favorable for anyone with a value time preference beyond immediate gratification. Maybe, just maybe, the fact that a plethora of ancient and instinctual connotations being quote-unquote wrong and the biologically discomforting counterpart, quote unquote, correct worldview requires the entire force of mass media grooming the population with specific targeted messaging in music, movies, TV shows, video games, and cartoons over the past 60 years to uphold this would imply something amiss. Maybe, just maybe, for once in human history, a woman projecting extremely harmful behavior won't be enabled by some other dumb bitch to justify their own horrible decision-making, or worse, used as an example to sabotage other women into deteriorating their own existence simply out of competitive spite. Or maybe not.
That was pretty dope.
Poetry, my friends.
Absolute cinema.
Absolute cinema. It literally was. But, you know, I mean, he's right. And I mean, that's completely right. You know, like getting women into deteriorating their own existence simply out of competitive spite. That's, I mean, there's so much accuracy to that.
I didn't even consider this really. I mean, obviously it was a factor I had in my mind, but even if you had ideals like that you would spread via the media at the time, which would be the books and newspapers, etc., it would not be ever like nearly as readily available as through other forms of entertainment that were yet to be produced, such as TV, movies, video games, social media. So even if you had something like that, the efficacy of that would have hit like a brick wall after a certain point. And then on top of that, you incentivize more people to get into these huge urban environments too, where you have a market, well, with heavy parentheses, market economy that's incentivized by investors investors that push a certain narrative for whatever reason. I don't know why they would do that. That was just kind of strange to me. But but anyway, this makes it 10 times, 20 times, even 100 times more effective than it could have possibly been in any other preceding historical epoch, which is insane. Because like I've obviously kind of known it like implicitly, but I never connected the dots like that. Like how much easier it is to just destroy an entire civilization like that.
It's so over.
Yeah,
We
it's
get
really
to more
funny,
levels
too.
of over every day. It's just, when does it stop being over?
I was gonna say it's even funnier when you get the opposition of like Daily Wire and people like that, and they kind of oppose it, but they do it in the worst possible way. So everybody just kind of clowns on them every now and then. And then like the one thing they do talk about is we got to have forgiveness, guys. You got to look past their past. And it's like, I mean, okay, I'm still not gonna wipe that shit up. I mean, what the fuck's wrong with you? Come on.
Yeah.
Would
That
Jesus
just that like aspect of
push her
like
away?
not what?
Would Jesus reject her? Yes, he would actually.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's just see a couple more delusions.
Use your illusion, part 2.
Yes. Bro. Look at this right here that I'm about to pull up.
Think about this.
Think about this. This chick is saying, I love my tattoo. Imagine this, bro. Imagine being with a chick like this. Well,
As soon as I see that, I'm gonna hit her with the all right, I'm gonna head out.
yeah. Exactly. And so somebody said nobody should be starting a family with a woman with shit like this on her body.
Jesus
Dude, it's
Christ.
crazy. Like somebody even said like this is worth 10 bodies. And I'm like, yeah, it is. It honestly is.
Like, bro, that's like horrible.
Yeah. This is like, what was it? I can't remember that tweet that I was thinking of where it was the millennial culture is.
I
You
know what you're
remember what I'm
talking
talking about?
Yeah.
Let me see if I can.
I couldn't
find
agree
it.
with it more. This shit's so fucking disgusting. Oh, are you looking for it or?
Yeah, I'm trying to find it. See if I can.
That was like years ago though.
What?
That post? That was like at least a year or two ago by now.
Maybe.
I finished my Coke. Just thought I'd let you know. Down to 3 bottles.
Trying to find it, but I don't know that I will.
Yeah, you're gonna have to really fish for that shit.
I'm gonna have to
I'll
dig.
save- Fuck, you digging in me.
Say that again.
Okay. Let's see. Maybe I'll just have to find something else to talk about for now. Yeah. I saw some guy talking about like looks maxing, like how he has to looks max to even have a chance with women. And it's like, he's like, my father didn't even have to do that. And he's like, my father isn't even as attractive as me. It's like, just hoflation, man. It really has hit. It really has hit. I think it probably was millennial culture as vulgarity culture or something like that.
I remember it being like around Thanksgiving time because the video attached was like a friend's Thanksgiving type thing.
Yeah, well.
Honestly, it was probably worse than those like Natalie Tran videos. I remember watching that shit and I was like, Jesus, it's so over.
It is. Honestly, it gets worse every day. We just see more and more of it. Like I said, like it just, if you aren't black pilled, like how long does it take to get black pilled, right? Like, I mean, I feel like there's just like a given amount of time before you do get black pilled. Let's see. So this chick, this was posted by Delusional Posting or Delusional Takes. Some chick that wants abortion so bad that she, if it comes to it, she'd rather mutilate every man on planet Earth. So she says, 1, at age 10, all boys have their vas deferens severed. 2, at age 20 or after age 25, the vasectomy can be reversed at any time if a woman agrees, notarized, to have a child with this man. 3, after birth, the father has another vasectomy. It's about time we control men's bodies too.
It's a good band.
What?
Afterbirth.
Oh. But anyway, somebody in the first comment says, or you could just, not have sex with strangers. True. And there was this other one that I thought was really good. Modern women absolutely refuse to keep their legs shut or to practice safe sex, to the point they'll mutilate half the planet for their wanton lust. Who is that screenshot of the guy pointing out why every society ever kept them in check? If you know what I'm talking about.
No.
Women will post this shit and then wonder why the entire planet and every major religion has imposed strict social restrictions on their sovereignty since the dawn of time in every place humans have ever lived.
I'm not going to endorse this, but it's certainly a pattern I've noticed studying history. I'll say that.
I'm just recognizing a pattern. You're going to call me sexist for that?
Oh, so when the crow that has pattern recognition, it's cute. But when I recognize patterns.
Yeah. Conclusion. Women.
They really do lack pattern recognition skills, like consistently. It's pretty insane how that.
They lack accountability. That's
accountability is like garlic to a vampire.
Yeah. It's a shame. It's a damn shame.
Bro, the fucking TikTok thing. It's a big deal because they got duped. That's it. It's not even like, it's so fucking stupid.
We got to make news out of this. Some guy gamed the system. He got 11 girls at once. We have to report this, man. This is crazy. This is too much.
I can't believe he got away with it.
Who was it that was similar to that? Some influencer? Was it? Who am I thinking of? Am I thinking of a bodybuilder or something, or some sort of other influencer?
The story does sound vaguely.
There was some guy that he was talking to him too. I just can't remember who it was.
Say that again.
There was some guy.
Say that again.
There was some guy, an influencer of some sort. I don't know if he had a wife, but he was in talks with multiple women at once, and people were saying, oh, he's like a dick for that, because he was also telling them that he didn't have a roster, or that at least there weren't other women or something. And people were saying the exact same things that they were saying about Harry now to that guy.
You don't tell them you have a roster because you don't want to lie, or because you want to lie. I don't tell them because I don't have a roster, because I'm only now learning that this is a term to be used like that.
But anyway, I can't remember who that was, but it was similar, story as far as people, that's why they see him as a bad guy. Yeah, apparently it's not okay, but if a woman has it, it's empowering. If anything, she's just making up her mind, man. She just needs to find the right guy.
I'm just saying, man, I can't, I'm obviously not going to go into details here, but could it be any more obvious? You know what I'm saying? Basic logic would see if you make those observations, it's okay, come on. It's very clear what the conclusion is here. That's all I'm going to say.
This is the case, on dating apps, especially where women feel oh, well, I have the pick of the litter, I can have any guy I want. I'm going to be so selective with the guys, but then also I'm going to talk to multiple at once, go on dates with them and stuff. And, I don't need to tell them that I'm going on dates with another guy. I remember there was a story of some chick where it's I was on a date with a guy and I was telling him, I don't know if she said I was telling him something like that. She's oh, I have a date after this. Yeah, he knew about it after the fact. She's yeah, I have a date after this. I have to get to that or something. Dude, it's crazy. You're going back to back on dates to get. And there was that one chick that did it to get free dinners as well.
I'll be honest. I respect the grind on that. If I could do that, I probably would do that.
Dude, it's wild, man.
Now hold on. If you're getting fucking 5-star $500 bill dinners, then that, at that point, it's like, well, I mean, it's kind of immoral to begin with, but I mean,
well, you're putting out after that. otherwise, there's gonna be a crash out of some sort.
See, here's the thing: if you're gonna do something like that, you got to remember to impress them in a way where it doesn't directly cost you, and then you impress them after the fact. That way, you don't lose anything.
Yeah, man. I don't know, man. It's this.
Also, I cannot find any reason why I would ever willingly pay more than like $100. Well, I mean, okay, I'm gonna have to account for inflation maybe in a few years, but like more than like, I don't know, like 100, maybe 100, like $10 over for like one dinner. And honestly, even
like,
outside of
yourself
like,
included, right?
Yeah, like even outside of dating, I don't even want to spend more than like $20 on food. Like the fuck?
Definitely not more than 30.
Like even if I'm going out with friends and it's like a big deal or whatever, if I'm paying like $30 for a bill, I'm like a little bit depressed.
Better be like an endless kind of thing.
I mean, even then though.
Yeah, no, that is crazy. Even for a sit down, like the one we went to where there was a time limit.
Yeah, that's some shit to have a time limit for a $40 thing, dude.
Yeah, dude. You get 2 hours, that's $20 an hour. That's like, niggas don't even make that much money, bro. Like these days, jobs are not paying that much. Like, who in their right mind is like, yeah, I mean, like, obviously I didn't know about the time limit, but like, who's gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna pay $20 an hour to have endless food. That's worth a lot of money.
And I mean, it is better than like a typical buffet, but you're also losing time in the time it's the time it takes for them to check on you and make the order, then for the food to come out, and then all that shit in between. That adds up over time.
Yeah, you just gotta order as much as you can within that time.
I mean, it's good food. Yeah, like I would go again, but I mean, I'm not gonna. Every time I go there, I feel like shit afterwards. Not because I ate too much, but because I fucking paid $40 for it.
Yeah, need to go to a different place that isn't so expensive, I guess.
Yeah, but the quality drops.
Yeah. Well, anyway, Mr. Greg, do you have any closing thoughts for this show or anything else you wanted to add before we start that?
Yeah, is it even possible to get cancer everywhere? How does that even happen? Like
Still on your mind?
I mean, that guy was drunk, so I don't know if he was like entirely knew what he was saying, but like
he had tumors throughout his body or blood cancer or something like that.
Like you would have to be like working on like nuclear reactors or some shit without a suit to get everything cancer. Like,
dude, I don't know. Maybe he had a really shitty metabolism. Maybe he got his thyroid cut out or something. Jarvis incinerate this nigga's thyroid. They cut niggas' thyroids out, bro. They're like, oh yeah, you have an overactive thyroid. We're gonna have to remove it.
Oh yeah, I remember you telling me about that one guy.
And then it's like, okay, well now you got to live on supplementation for the rest of your life, or else you die.
Oh, it's really convenient that this one problem you had that you could have fixed any other way required us to rip something out of your body that now requires you to be a debt slave to us for pills that you could have gotten at a way lower cost, but now you have to have an insurance company to be able to afford it. Gee.
Like if the economy tanks, all these people are going to die. That's just, there's no way around it.
Well, I guess they should have been financially more secure. I mean, that's on them, right?
No, just even being dependent on medication, like you're just gonna die.
Probably. Yeah, that's their fault. They should have been financially more secure.
If you don't have something that you need, like, to literally function, then yeah, it's over.
That's capitalism, baby. Apparently.
Yeah. Well then, guys, it's been good. We had another week that we did.
I really got to learn Spanish, man.
Okay. That was another installment. I guess Mr. Greg's going to South America, but this has been another installment of.
Wait, hold on. Did I tell you about that one guy that he called me one day and just randomly asked me if I wanted to go to Colombia? Did I not tell you about that?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. Spanish. You know why Spanish.
Latinas. Anyway, this has been
Greg Barnes.
Another installment, Med 150 of the podcast.
The podcast ever
the podcast ever.